Welcome back to Tales and Treasures. I'm your host Mr. Almeida, and this Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary Game & Watch arrived earlier this week, and I thought I'd make a review on it. Now, I've never done a review before, and I'm pretty sure nobody asked my opinion on it, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. So, here is the package itself, and it has this plastic cover that has all these Super Mario Bros. Markings on it. For example, there's 35 coins marking the 35th anniversary. I've read that the game itself has 35 different hidden Easter eggs too, including that if you finish the game on normal difficulty, you unlock a hard mode for the game, which stays available even if you turn off the device. And on the backside is depicted what this device entails: the clock, Super Mario Bros., the lost levels, and the ball game. And when we remove the plastic cover, there's what the ball game looks like. By the way, when you open this thing, be careful with the sticker if you decide to remove it. On mine, it left a nasty residue on the plastic. Let's take a good look at this thing. A Game & Watch in 2020. It looks and feels pretty nice in my hands. And it's really light. Doesn't weigh very much at all. I do wonder what happens when eventually the built-in battery dies. Is it possible to get a replacement? Or is the console forever dead? The screen looks really good. It's very bright and sharp. Also, it's very simple to set the volume and the brightness and to set the time. Even I can do it. I also noticed that this doesn't come with a headphone jack, so if you are planning on playing this in a public place, like on a bus or the train, you might want to turn the volume off. On a personal note, I do wish that the buttons were just a little bit higher. This doesn't feel natural for my thumbs. But that is just me and my personal preference. And here, as you can see, it is roughly the same size as my Game & Time, a pirated version of the original Game & Watch. And about the same size as well to the NES Classic Mini controller, albeit half the thickness. Now, let's try the Mario games and see how good I am. Well, at least they have a save feature for people like me. And you can actually pause your game and hop between them. It's pretty cool they included an internal memory. Now, let's take a look at the ball game. The ball game was on the original Game & Watch in 1980. It's quite a simple game on today's standards, but originally it was probably astonishing to be able to play anything on the go. But it does get faster and faster every time you touch the ball, to the limits of even superhuman reflexes. This Game & Watch is a pretty cool collectible and the overall quality is pretty high. But you probably won't be playing this too much at home, at least if you have a way to play the Super Mario Bros. On the original NES or the NES Classic Mini, like me. Also, the speakers on this are pretty good, but you probably won't be able to play this with the sound on in public, at least without getting some nasty looks towards you. Also, interestingly, this Game & Watch pirated version that I have, called Game & Time Apple, They were really intent on breaking some copyrights, weren't they? But yeah, this one comes with a back support so you can display it in your collection. Just like the original Game & Watch did. But this new one doesn't. And I really don't know why. Because it's gonna make it really hard for me to display it in my collection. Fortunately, Discard Guy mentioned on Instagram that Rose Colored Gaming, a company that makes displays for handhelds and controllers, among other things, have made a Game & Watch stand. So I'm gonna be wanting one of those, because they look really cool. All in all, I really like the sharp image quality, and even though I'd personally prefer for the buttons to be just a little bit higher, it does fit my tiny and unmanly hands very nicely. That may be because Game & Watch was probably originally designed for kids and not necessarily to adults, and therefore a better fit in the hands of children. However, I wonder, how many of those people who bought this €60 toy were actually adult collectors and gamers who bought it for themselves, or those who bought it for their peanut butter and jelly-handed kids? So, I really wanted this Game & Watch into my collection, and I rushed to get it pre-ordered. A pre-order I probably couldn't have made without the help of my good friend Jerry. So thank you, Jerry. I truly appreciate it. So why was I in such a hurry to pre-order this thing, you might ask? Well, it was said that this thing would only be available in limited quantities. Just like the Super Mario 3D All-Stars on Switch. In reality, there seems to be plenty for everyone who wants one. And for their both uncles. That having said, Nintendo really does seem to give the fans the stuff they want. Now, I'm just holding my breath and wondering what is it that they come up with next. Oh, while I still have your attention, why won't you leave a like and subscribe? And while you're at it, press the bell icon too. There's also these boxes you can click to watch my previous episodes. Thanks for watching!